BK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family was popping. For the second time, you guys don't even know I just did that for a second time. But for a second time, I did it. The Knicks get the win tonight over the Pacers, 114-113. And I apologize for being so late, but happens like that sometimes. I got my man DJ Shuttle, Tony Crow. We in the building, and we're going to break this one down, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling? Yeah. Yeah, we're here. Shuttle, what's happening, bro? Yeah. Tony, I know you haven't seen everything yet, so Shuttle, what was your thoughts about the game?
Give me 1 second though, Sim, because I want to say this. Even though I didn't know we played, one of my concerns was how do we come off of this championship? You know what I mean? This in-season cup championship. If you look at the previous 2 winners, they came off their wins, the championship cup chips, and didn't play well. The Lakers the first year, you know what I mean? They took a huge slide off the chip, and then the Bucks last year, I think they were like 5-8. So one was like 10-13, and one was 5-8 coming off the chip. So it was a concern. And then you look at the guys being out, you know what I mean? And we'll talk about what Mike Brown said, but you know, a lot of guys didn't play today. So this was a game that they could have potentially not came away with.
Right.
So I just want to throw that out there before, you know what I mean, before you guys go.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Shuttle.
So it was, coming off that last game, seeing Cat kind of, looking like he had a leg injury, knowing that Philly is tomorrow and we know Mitch is the official Embiid stopper, I was like, yo, it'd be good to sit Mitch because we know he ain't going to play back-to-backs, no matter, even though he had all these days off that we already had. But I'm not going to drag that. So I'm thinking Mitch is going to probably sit against Indy, play against Philly, but I hope Cat's good enough because we can't really afford to have both of them not playing. So when I saw that they both were out, we were starting Hug Porty and Diawara. I'm just like, all right, I'm not really, my expectations were brought down. I could have took the under on this game, made a killing. You know what I mean? All of that. But, man, the players played so hard. And, I feel like I'm more proud of this win tonight than any win for the entire season, including the cup chip, because it's after the chip. You could dive in terms of energy and commitment, like Tony was just alluding to. And then you have 5 players from your rotation that are not playing this game. Guys that don't play are getting minutes. Guys that barely play are getting more minutes. And man, the team found a way to fight and win this game at Indiana. And if you're a Knicks fan, you got to just be extremely encouraged by wins like this. I am.
Right. Nah, for sure. I definitely am, with wins like this because, Mike Brown said in the post game that they easily could have packed it in and nobody would said anything. I disagree with that because I would have been upset if they would have just packed it in. You know what I mean? And didn't battle, but there's no way in my mind that I ever think that they were just going to pack it in, though. You know what I mean? This team, from what we've seen so far, they don't do that. They play.
But even if you don't pack it in, if you're missing 5 of your rotation guys, it could just be exhausting and hard to compete.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Just hard to compete. And, you know, from the beginning, I was a little nervous. Right? You know, not with how they were competing, but were they going to be, were they good enough? You know what I'm saying? Without those guys, because of, you know, just the way the game was, the way things were going. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like they was good enough without them dudes out there.
At one point in the third, the way they was smoking, I was like, yo, is he gonna just take Brunson out and just let him just like rest the rest of this game?
And that would have been packing it in.
That would have been packing
From
it
the
in.
coaching standpoint, you know what I mean?
Right. That's the truth.
I mean, I know I'm rewatching it live right now while we're live, and we started the game. They started the game 24-9 lead paces. You know what I mean? So yeah, right out the gate, it was looking shaky.
Yeah, you know, yeah, they you know, they could have packed it in. They didn't. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, that's the hallmark of a champion. I'm sure they heard all the noise about the Lakers, the Bucks. You know what I mean? After they won the championship, they you know, the NBA Cup, they didn't perform afterwards, right? They went on losing streaks, this and that. And, you know, it just seemed that they were like, it's not going to be us. You know, we're going to make a concerted effort for this not to happen. You know, and I know it's against the Pacers, a team that's injured themselves and, you know, don't have, what have they lost? What have they got? 6 wins on the season or something like that?
6 wins on the season.
6 wins on the season, you know. Still, but you were playing with maybe the same level of players anyway, right? Besides, well, I mean, you had Brunson, OG, and McCall out there. Everybody else was basically on, you know, when you look at the Pacers roster, you know, basically on the same level. So, you know, it's a good win. You know, it's nothing, you know, people can say, well, you know, they struggled with it, with the Pacers, this and that. It's a good win. You know what I mean? After coming off of an emotional game like the NBA Cup, you know, that was an emotional game, to come back and have to play another emotional game and pull it out the way they did, you know, I just can't argue with it. You know what I mean? Just can't argue with it. You know, and I think the Knicks proved that, you know, you heard OG after the you heard OG, you know, just say how, you know, the win, you know, helped them to learn some things about themselves and so on. You know what I mean? And I think even tonight helped the Knicks learn something about themselves, right? And obviously Kolek. We're gonna talk about Kolek. You know what I mean? Because he's kind of the star of the show, right? He you know, tonight he was the man tonight.
Just hit a bucket as you said his name, Sim.
You know, he was the man tonight. You know, you gotta love what Kolek is doing. I'm gonna get to a phone call, and then I want to talk about Kolek. And I know there's a lot of guys in the chat that got a lot of thoughts and things about Kolek. We're gonna let everybody say what they gotta say, but I'm gonna get to my man Spree, who's on the line right now. Spree, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
Sam, what's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. I feel good.
Feel good. Yeah,
Feel
I mean,
good.
it's been a fun week. Salute to the panel. Salute to you, man. It's been a fun listen. Fun 72 hours with this basketball team, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy we won. Obviously, yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Steve Nash. I'm not gonna lie. There were stretches
shoot.
tonight where I felt.
Oh shoot.
I'm not saying he's Steve Nash, but
Okay.
I'm saying there were stretches tonight where I'm not going to lie to you. There were some passes that I don't think anybody on this team can make those passes. I'm just keeping it real. No, man, I just want to see more of him. That's all. My whole comment on Kolek is, obviously Deuce is out now. When Deuce gets back, I still think let's ride this thing. Let's see Kolek for a couple more weeks here. Let's see what he can do. It's been 2 games, but you see when he's out on the floor, he's making the right basketball plays. And the thing with Kolek is, can he make the 3 and can he play defense? He's competing on defense, and he shot 2 of 4 from 3 tonight, so he can do that. He's definitely, he doesn't want to get traded. I'll say that. I'll tell you that.
Not.
But the purpose of my call, I wanted to ask you a question about like needs on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this more. I think OG is athletic. I don't think Mikal Bridges is that athletic. I think Mikal Bridges is a good defender. I think OG is a good defender, much a higher level than Bridges. But when I think of Mikal, I don't think he is like, he can get up there. He'll dunk the basketball on occasion, and he's got long arms. But I don't necessarily think Mikal is that athletic. I think OG is athletic. Would you say that's fair?
I'd say that's fair. OG is athletic.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I think we need to add one more guy that's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". If Yabusele ain't it, they need to get one more guy to take the pressure off of OG and Mikal with all the defense, and just, if you can get one more strong physical guy that can shoot the rock, that's athletic. You can call him whatever you want. You want to call him a wing, you want to call him a forward. I don't really care. I'm saying, just, can you get one more guy like that I think will help Bridges and help OG put us over the top? I think that's the biggest need. I think that was their intention with Yabusele, but I don't think he's that guy.
That ain't working.
So it's, in my opinion, I initially thought it was backup point guard was the biggest need. I want to see more with Kolek the next couple of weeks, and I think we may have that. But I think if you get one more 6'8", 6'9" guy, maybe you also get a center as just insurance for Mitch and Cat. I'm not saying we need a center. I'm saying I want a center for backup insurance, very cheap. Maybe you can get on the I know nobody's talking about center, but I'm not a big Huck Porty guy. That's just me. I'm talking about if Mitch goes down, get a backup insurance big. But I think the biggest need is really a 6'9", 6'8" guy that can shoot it and is physical and strong to help some of these boys on defense a little bit more. Is that fair, Sim, or do you think that's unfair?
Hold on. Are you saying a big as far as a big, like a center, or no?
Well, yes. No. I'm saying two different things. I'm saying I want a 6'9" guy that can shoot it. You can call him a forward, whatever. And I also would like just the center on the buyout market, just as insurance for Mitch. So 2 different things. But I think the biggest need, though, is the 6'9" guy, 6'8" guy. I don't know who that is, but I just think one more guy that can be strong and physical on defense for this team that can help Bridges and OG a little bit more. That way, we take a little bit pressure off those guys, and also that can shoot it. I just want to be strong against these teams. Some of these teams like Detroit, they're playing 10 deep. They're playing strong physical guys. I think it could help us.
Let me ask you this: what about you're mentioning what about Jemison?
I liked what I saw tonight from him. Sure. I mean, I'd like to see more. I don't know if he's that guy. Do you? I mean, I don't know the answer to that.
I actually like him.
Okay.
I feel like he is he's steady. Right? He's
Would you trust him in the playoffs?
I actually think I would. I mean, obviously we haven't seen him in that type of situation, but he's a no mistakes type of player. Now, he's not going to do anything spectacular. Right, because he's not the kind of guy that's going to take chances. He just plays his basketball game. You know what I mean? But I think with who he is, that's all you're asking him to do. And that's all you need him to do.
Hey, I'd like to see more of him.
It's been successful.
That's fair. I mean, just like Kolek, let's see more of him. I just think that would really help this team, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Just one more bruiser that's strong. Like, we talk about how the Knicks, one of the things that separates the Knicks right now is they're not soft. They're fit. Like, Mitch provides that element of physicality with his rebounding. Brunson on the offensive end provides physicality because he can pound and get it. He's physical on offense, Brunson. Tad is physical on offense and also with his rebounding. But I think they need one more guy on the perimeter with OG and Bridges. OG's got to be what, 6'7"? Bridges has got to be a little shorter than that.
I think Bridges is like 6'6".
6'6"?
I think Bridges is 6'6".
6'6". Okay. Yeah. I want somebody a little bit bigger than those two guys to help those two guys. I don't know. Maybe it is Jamison. I want to see more of Jamison, to your point, but I think that could really help us against the elite teams more than the backup point guard, because I like what Kolek's doing, and I want to see more of it, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, Kolek has obviously proven that we don't need another backup point guard, or at least he's working to prove it right now, with the way that he's playing. He's playing out of his world right now.
Yeah, I also like when he and Brunson play together. I know they're both small guards, but I'm not saying you can survive that all the time, but he definitely takes pressure. Like, Jalen can take a breather off the ball because he knows that Kolek is going to create for others. Like, I think Kolek's one of the two best creators. I mean, like, he will get other guys open shots. Like, we talked about this. How can we help Brunson? You saw what Mike Brown did in the other game when Brunson had that turnover. He ran to the bench to get Kolek in the game to just bring the ball up the court.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying you can survive it all the time, because some of these teams will. I don't think you can survive Kolek and Brunson on defense together. That's a problem. But I think in certain stretches of the game, when you need to conserve Brunson, I think you can play them together, or at least I want to see more of it.
Okay. Are you comfortable? Because I know Shuttle. I wanted to ask you, Shuttle. Are you becoming more comfortable?
Here patiently chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Waiting my time, because caller, before we went on air, and also 2 days ago with Sim, I said I think Kolek may have just opened the door to make Deuce expendable.
Here we go.
I said it after the chip. And I tried to tread lightly because it was chip night and I didn't want to go crazy. But now it's the next game after the chip. We got to start preparing for the playoff run and the playoff push and getting the lineup the way we need it. And Caller, I'm going to agree with you. We also need a wing. Before we came onto the show tonight, I said Sadiq Bey. Tony, I believe, may have said Sadiq Bey, and I actually agree with him.
I love Sadiq Bey. I've been wanting Sadiq Bey on this team for a while now.
So I'm gonna spin the block on you, Caller. If it takes Yabusele and Deuce to get Sadiq Bey, how would you feel about that?
I'm not trading Deuce.
Okay, you want Kolek to play. How does Kolek play and give minutes to do all the great things you just explained with a team that has Deuce, Kolek, Shamet, and Clarkson, and Bridges, who's technically a guard on his team? How do all of these things happen? And if you really want to shore up your wing offense and defense, how are you going to do that without giving something up?
It's fair. I mean, you can't find stretches where you can play Deuce and Kolek together, Kolek and Brunson together. Like, they can't all play together. I mean, I get it. Some guys got to sit. It's going to reduce Deuce's minutes for sure. I don't know how many minutes Deuce has been playing in total, but I mean, Deuce is very valuable too. Let's not underestimate what he provides.
But as you explained,
I hear you. I mean, to your point. I mean, Sadiq Bey is intriguing. I'm not going to lie.
But as you explained, they needed help ball handling. And what did the coach do? He ran and got the only ball handler on the team besides Brunson. Deuce, Clarkson, Shamet, these guys are kind of, you're getting the same thing predominantly from all three of the guys. Deuce obviously plays a little bit better defense than the rest of the group. So, it may be harder to let go of him.
What game was this? What game was this? I mean, I know who you're talking about. What you talking?
But
We talk about
Deuce
because Deuce
wasn't
didn't play.
available either.
Yeah, because I don't think Deuce played.
Yeah, he wasn't available either. So I think that's and again, we're not saying he would have went to Deuce if he was going for the ball handler, but Deuce not being there, you know what I mean, also gives Kolek an extra shot to get in as well. So you know what I mean? Like he might have went to Deuce, you know what I mean? Or we may not have been in the position, you know what I mean, because Deuce was there playing. Like I think it's tough to have this argument while Deuce is out. I don't think it's fair to Deuce. It's almost like out of sight, out of mind type behavior. But I don't know. I'm with you.
There are times in the game where you can tell Deuce.
Not right now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tony. I mean, like the thing about the value that Deuce obviously is shot making, but like his defense on ball, like he can guard the best player in certain stretches of the game. That if we play OKC in the finals, okay, you put Deuce on whoever, you're comfortable. I just don't want to trade that. But to your point, that's what I'm saying. We need to see Kolek for another month before the trade deadline. We need to see Kolek. Like, I think they should continue this experiment to see what Kolek is. It's been 2 games. I've really liked it. He's gone obviously. I don't know when is Deuce coming back. Soon?
About less than a week.
Okay. It was a week.
It was a week when we was in the cup game, the last cup game. So
I don't know. You guys are throwing out, and I never thought about trading Deuce. I still don't want to do that, but I think Kolek should play. I don't know how you figure. I'm not the coach, okay? So somebody's got to sit. I get that. I just think Kolek, in my opinion, watching this basketball team, I think Tyler Kolek is one of the 2 best creators on the team. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying he's a good defender. I don't know. I think he competes hard. I don't know if you could. I want to see more of him from him. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, offensively, he is a gifted creator with Jalen Brunson on the team that we do not have. So you got to find a way to use that guy. That's all I'm saying.
And Deuce and Kolek was playing together before Deuce went out, and so Kolek's probably got a little bit of an increase in minutes, but he was playing. You know what I mean? Like he's been on a 10-game stretch of getting minutes. You know what I mean? So I think he plays whether Deuce is here or not. I think they complement each other also.
How do you get Deuce out there? I mean, I'm sorry, Kolek out there on the floor.
So you'd have to play Kolek, Deuce, and Clarkson at the small forward, which to me is reducing his value, which is why he's been a little shaky, in my opinion.
That's fair.
And now let's suppose we're fully healthy. Now Shamet is not playing. Shamet was also playing excellent defense before he got hurt, and he was kind of lighting it up on the shooting tip.
Yeah, he was the first guy off the bench.
He was the first guy off the bench. And so for me, what I feel like is the what you pointed out was center and wing, but you didn't really say that ball handling was a weakness because you're getting more of it from what you've just seen the past couple of days in Kolek. But if you go back to the games when he wasn't playing, we get to the playoffs, the Magic, the Detroit Pistons, these teams are going to pressure, and you're going to give the ball to Bridges to bring it up, and it's going to be nervous. You're going to give it to OG to bring it up, it's going to be nervous. They're going to get it out of Brunson's hands. And, you got to have another ball handler off the bench that comes in the game. Somebody you can give the ball to and do what Kolek's been doing. And I think the way he's playing right now is what we saw in college and what had people excited about him coming to this team.
So if
just out of curiosity, what is Deuce's contract? Like what year are we in with him?
Yeah,
a year after this one.
Yeah.
He's got one more year after this season with the Knicks.
Yeah. So he's going to be up for a contract extension. You're going to have to get rid of him anyway, which is another thing that was part of my do. It's like, yo, next year you're not. What are you going to pay him? You're going to be in a very similar situation like you were with IQ.
I mean, they may trade Kolek. They may trade him. I don't know. I'm just saying. To your point, I get your point. There's only so many minutes to go around. I'm just saying I would like a wing, but I like ball handling, so they got to figure it out. I'm just saying, I like Kolek and he's increasing his trade value. I'll say that. I mean, he definitely can play.
Before I let you go, let me ask you this: if Mike Brown, when Deuce comes back, when Shamet comes back, if Mike Brown decides that Kolek is returning to the bench, do you think that's a mistake? Because right now, for all intents and purposes,
you're saying when Deuce comes back or when Deuce and Shamet comes back?
Deuce and Shamet. Because right now, I mean, for the most part, he's situational, right? He's getting the minutes that he's getting right now because we're in a situation.
With Deuce and Shamet, how many guys is that total that are playing? 9?
10.
10.
10?
10.
Deuce, Shamet, Mitch,
Clarkson.
Deuce, Shamet, Mitch. Who's the other two? Clarkson, and who's the other one?
Kolek.
Well, Kolek would be 10, so he would have to play 10 guys. Is that correct?
4 guards off the bench.
I think you can play 10 guys.
I don't think you can play Deuce, Kolek, Shamet, and Clarkson all off the bench in one game.
But it doesn't mean they
stagger them.
But they don't. Yeah, you stagger them. They're not going to play at the same time.
I'm not necessarily saying you have to play all of them at the same time. I'm just saying, in today's NBA, can you play 10 guys in an NBA game? Yes. You have to figure out the lineups that work, and make it work. And I still want to wing on this basketball team. But yeah, I mean, before the trade deadline, can Mike Brown continue giving Kolek minutes when Deuce and Shamet come back? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He can figure it out.
Okay.
I believe that. So. But I also want to see. I wanted to see more of it. Let's see 2 more weeks of it. I may change my answer, but I that vision, man, it gave me some Nash vibes, and you have to take that seriously. I can't unsee what I saw tonight. Okay, man. I'm not trying to overreact. I want to see more, Sim. I know I'm overreacting a little bit, but that vision is for real.
I agree with you. I think I was a big Kolek supporter coming out. I was saying the Knicks need to get this guy. So, I don't think you're pushing the envelope too crazy. He was the number 1 assist guy in college. That was college, yeah, I know. But if you got vision, you got vision. You know what I mean? You got vision on the park. You got it in college. You got it in the NBA. He made some great passes. And it's not the first time. He did it last year, too. He had flashes last year with some excellent passes. So we know this guy can set people up. I mean, I don't know if you got to it yet, Tony. You catching the game, but he threw something sweet to Hug Porty tonight. Woo!
Yeah, he did.
Woo!
And Sim, the last thing I'll say before I sign off is, but with anything with this basketball team, when I think about this, I'll say, what can help Jalen Brunson relieve pressure off of him? Any question whether acquiring a player, playing a guy more, it's my question in my head is, can I help relieve pressure off of Jalen Brunson and make his life easier? That's how I think about anything with this basketball team to win a championship. And I think Kolek, there is something there. So we'll see. But I could be wrong, but we'll see. But you guys have a good night. This was wonderful.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Spree, always.
I like that perspective. I like that last take he said.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to make – because you know what? At the end of the day, if Brunson's overworked, if he's burnt out, if he's tired, if you feel like, I can't even sit down for 2 minutes because nobody can handle the ball really. If Deuce plays, I got to be in there with him. I can't be in there without him.
Mm-hmm.
At least Brunson can sit down for a couple of minutes and Kolek can go out there. and you don't have to worry like it's going to be hot potato with the ball.
Right.
And listen, if Shaman's out for the season, they trade him, they trade Clarkson or whatever, they do something like that, and there's more minutes available, and it's Kolek and Deuce in the backcourt. Yo, I'm great. I'm great with that. But I'm just saying, minus somebody else not leaving the team, it's going to be hard to get all these guys. It's going to be hard to get all these guys minutes. And since you have a need someplace else in your team, I would be open to doing something that could be a win-win. That's
Okay.
all. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No hate for Deuce. Deuce is amazing. Just for the record.
My only thing is, I agree with you because you're looking at the need. You have to factor in what you're taking away, and that's what I always focus on when we talk about losing Deuce, trading Deuce. I focus on what we're taking away from this team. I mean, we got OG, we got Mitch, we got Mikal, we got Josh Hart is playing good defense this year, but Deuce is that next guy when we're talking about defenders. You know what I mean, and plus defenders and making impacts on the game defensively. So I just, I don't want to lose that part.
It's a hard. Listen, parting with Deuce ain't light. Come on, like I ain't trying to say like it ain't like we just throwing something trash away. Like this ain't Cam Reddish. You know what I mean? Like this ain't that. This is a guy that's very valuable to the team. So, yeah, you're gonna lose something, but hopefully you gain more in the global picture of the team. If he were included in the deal, I'm not saying he needs to go. I'm not saying get rid of him. That's not it at all. So, guys, please don't mistake my perspective.
All right, let me get to another phone call here. We got Nick from Jersey on the line. Nick, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing tonight?
Good, man. Doing good, feeling good.
Yeah, great win. Just it was good to get that win because everybody was out. And I have a humble solution to this problem, if I may say, if I could break it down.
Okay.
I think it's right in front of our face.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's assume everybody's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as replacing Kolek with Yabusele in the 10-man rotation, giving Yabusele the Evan Fournier treatment right now.
Okay.
And replacing Josh Hart with Deuce McBride in the starting five. And now you have your starting five that everybody wanted to see last season with Towns at center, OG at the 4, Bridges at the 3, Deuce at the 2, Brunson at the point. And we know that Deuce and Brunson have a great net rating together in the backcourt together. They really thrive off each other. Deuce was just killing it lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now this also makes the bench probably the best bench in many years, and it's also equalizes the size. You've got Mitch as the backup center, you got Hart as the backup 4, you got Shamet as the backup 3, Clarkson as the backup 2, and Kolek as the backup point. Now, obviously, there's 48 minutes per position, and you're not only going to have those two guys playing at those spots, but that is your A-B team. But you're gonna see, obviously, you'll see Shamet at the 2. He's not only going to play backup 3. Shamet will play 2 guard. You'll see Bridges at 2 guard. You'll see Hart at the backup 3. You'll see, last year's starting 5. You'll see the double big lineup. You'll see all different lineups, and the Knicks have a lot of great lineups. But the bench being Mitch, Hart, Shamet, Clarkson, Kolek. That's how you do it. In the starting 5, you put Deuce in there. That's how you spread the minutes out, and you have a decent amount of size on the bench as well, because you can't run with Clarkson as your backup 4, but you can run with Hart as your backup 4.
Right.
We talked about that exact thing before the season started. I think Kolek was replaced by Brogdon, like hypothetically at the time, but when we was talking about a clean rotation, you know what I mean? You remember them talks in?
Yeah.
In the off season, so I get the logic in that 100%.
And I've always thought,
does Josh Hart want to go back to that. Two things. The Knicks are rolling since Josh Hart got in the starting lineup again. And do you want to mess with that? And on the flip side, does Josh Hart want to go back to that role as well, where he was trying to find himself, and he seemingly has found himself? That would be my only contention with it.
Yeah, I always felt that Deuce fit really well with that starting lineup. I just always felt that he fit perfectly there. I understand why you have Josh Hart there, because he's going to provide rebounding for you, which Deuce isn't going to. But I can understand what Nick is saying as far as balancing the lineups if you intend to play Kolek.
Yeah, you can run it that way, and if you need, and if they get to the point where Hart is playing so great, you got to start him. And you don't want to make a change to this new starting lineup. Which, by the way, I've defended the last year's starting lineup. I think it's gotten a bad rap for over a year now. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of good numbers and a lot of anomalous numbers on the negative side for this starting five with Towns at the center and Hart at the 3.
Well, you got a lot of Tibbs haters out there. You got a lot of Tibbs haters out there, Nick.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I said you got a lot of Tibbs haters out there, so they're gonna hate that lineup.
Yeah, but that lineup was doing very well in the playoffs last year. In the second halves of playoff games, they really turned it on when it really mattered the most. They were like plus 15 or plus 16 in the fourth quarters of playoff games, and that lineup all year last season was doing great when you just took Brunson out for Payne, which is kind of an anomaly because Brunson's way better than Payne. So now that Hart is shooting well and the lineup's doing great again, I think it's safe to say that putting the Nova trio together with Cat and OG is not a bad lineup. Those are probably the 5 best players on the team. They're going to be on the court at the end of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, theoretically, right? Unless Mitchell Robinson's completely dominating the game. Or Deuce McBride can't miss or something like that, right? Those are the 5 main guys. So if they want to keep those guys as your starting 5, very well. But then you got to do something about that backup 4 spot, because you got Mitchell Robinson as the backup 5, and then you're going to have, just like the previous caller said, you're going to have Clarkson, Shamet, Deuce, and Kolek as your bench. Too small. So you got to take Clarkson out of the rotation, and then you put Diawara back as you play Diawara as your backup 4, and you just emphasize the defense. I don't know if they're going to do that because Clarkson's a pretty easy bucket, but maybe that's when you want to make the trade for that backup 4 type situation, because right now you got all these Saddiq Bey is a great player, but look at all these players that are going to be eating up 48 minutes at the 4. You got OG playing power forward, you got Hart playing power forward, and you're going to have Cat playing power forward. So do you really want to trade Deuce for Saddiq Bey to be the 4th guy getting minutes at power forward position? He might be the backup power forward on paper, but who's going to eat up all those minutes? I mean, is Saddiq Bey going to play more minutes than OG, Hart, and Cat? So I don't know if I want to make that trade. I might just want to sit Clarkson down on the bench and play, the rookie, because he's a really good lockdown defender. Or you just start Deuce and put Hart to the bench. Those are my humble suggestions.
I gotta say, you got me sitting on the Deuce starting thing. I really wasn't a big advocate of that, because I think that the size advantage with Bridges and OG at the 2 and the 3, but since you got Hart starting at the 4, it kind of nullifies the size advantage you can have with that. So, I mean, if that's the case, maybe starting Deuce at the 2 could better impact the entire flow of the substitution pattern. So, not bad.
Because then you still have these other lineups where Shamet could come in and play that 2-guard spot, for Deuce, which was starting earlier in the season, and that's still a 5-out lineup. Then you also have the current starting 5 and last year's starting 5 with Hart that you could play. Then you also have the double big lineup with Mitch and Towns and OG and Bridges and Brunson that you could play. Like, they have all of these ultra good lineups that exist, if you just put one guy in there for Deuce, you know. But even the lineup with Deuce is going to be good. I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, but I'm certain that Towns, OG, Bridges, Deuce, Brunson is killing it. And I'm certain that Brunson and Deuce together in the backcourt is killing it, you know. So you got OG out there with Deuce in terms of defense. I think that would nullify Towns' defensive deficiencies. And I think Towns has done a much better job this year not fouling too. So, you know, they could make that work and it could really make the offense hum. And then all of a sudden your bench, you've got Mitch coming off the bench. You've got Hart coming off the bench. You've got Shamet coming off the bench. You've got Clarkson coming off the bench. I mean, you put those 4 guys coming off the bench with a playmaker like Kolek, the bench is going to be ultra, you know, it's going to be hellified. So that's what I would do.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like a plan. I guess the only question I would have is, with the way the team is playing, do you want to disrupt that starting 5 right now?
No, I mean, I wouldn't do. I mean, they don't have to. You know, I mean, Shaman and Deuce aren't coming back for a little bit. You know, so they could roll with it as is right now, and they could keep playing Kolek, and they could just make this decision in a couple of weeks. But I'm pretty confident that, you know, all things healthy, they might want to change the starting 5 again if they're not going to make a trade. If they're going to make a trade, they're going to make a trade. You know, they might trade Kolek over Deuce. They might trade Deuce over Kolek. But basically, you know, this is a good problem to have. You know, guys like Clarkson and they could make a trade and do a 3-for-1 trade and still have a 10-man rotation that is super good.
Let me ask this, just, you know, speaking future-wise. We need to see more from Kolek. We need to see more from Deuce. Both have been having great seasons so far, right? You got Jalen Brunson. I mean, neither one of them's ever going to start over Jalen Brunson, right?
Right.
Do you see, you know, what's the long-term future with those 2 players with the Knicks?
Well, it depends on what Deuce he signed a great contract a couple of years ago. I don't know what his contract is now, but I think Deuce is probably worth like much more than he's getting paid right now in terms of market value.
Yeah, Deuce makes like 4.4 right now, and he's going to make less, like 3.8 or 3.9 next season.
Yeah, so it's one of the best contracts in the league, honestly, and he's so he'll be a free agent after next season, and he'll probably be worth, you know, in the high teens, or maybe even higher. I don't know. So the Knicks can make that decision at that time, you know. They might want to trade him. Deuce might be a candidate to get traded like next trade deadline, you know, if they can't negotiate a contract for him that's fair. But who do I think is a better player? I think Deuce McBride's a better player. I think Kolek is a better ball handler. I think Kolek has good court vision. But who if I was in an NBA draft right now, and those 2 guys were up on the board, and I had to pick a guy, I'd pick Deuce McBride. He's a better defender. He's a better shooter. He's a tougher player. He's a better athlete. I'd pick Deuce. I'd roll with Deuce. Just one, you know, if I had to pick one of those 2 guys for all things equal. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just gonna say, are all things equal though? Like, because a lot of the, like, Kolek's success, I don't think is really based off his NBA career, or who, like, he showed who he was in college too. You know what I mean? I don't know if Deuce had the type of college career that Kolek had. So if you know what I mean, so does need take any precedence over who you picking, or you just saying like best player?
You're right.
Available?
You're right. I mean, things are never just equal. You know, the structure, the team's structural makeup is what comes first, and of course, the money part of it is also a huge consideration. So, you know, it really, I think both guys. You know, if you were to tell me, you know, if both guys could get traded, you know what I mean? Because we're talking about the 7th and the 10th man. You know, it's not like it's not.
I mean,
these
that's
are not.
true.
It wouldn't be a major shock if they got traded. So
Right.
I personally, I trust Deuce more just based upon how he's performed in the playoffs. But I like Kolek a lot, and I'm not emotional about either one. You know, I trust Leon Rose.
Okay. Okay.
I
Nick.
don't want to give up. I don't want to give up Deuce for cheap. That's all.
Yeah.
Because he's got a great contract, and his production exceeds his contract.
Right.
I mean, he could
doubt.
go crazy. He went 7 for 10 for 3 the other day.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before you get out of here. How do you feel about the NBA Cup and then the banner? What's your thoughts on the banner?
I love that they won the cup. I love that they played hard. I'm happy for the guys, you know, that they made that money, and I thought it was
like whatever they decided,
they
could have did that quietly. You know what I mean? They could have put it up quietly. They could have said we're gonna wait till the end of the year and make a decision. You know what I mean? Like, but to just come out and kind of be like, all right, it don't mean nothing. Especially it not being the first one and the other 2 teams did it. You know what I mean? I could see how you know Adam Silver's frowning upon it. You know what I mean? Like,
legitimize this tournament. Why would you even give him a choice?
You can get a choice in the off season when we're deciding what we're going to do. But we agree in the off season what we're going to do.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I mean.
That's
right.
what it is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Why would you? Right. You agree in the off season. Everybody agrees. This is what we're going to do, and then everybody follows suit.
Now, how do we know they haven't done that? Do we know if that's been done or not?
I guess that could, and maybe the choice was, people can choose. And maybe that was what was decided in the off season. Oh,
sloppy. And I ain't talking about.
I'm from Jersey.
They might have thought. Pardon me. Yeah. They might have thought once the Lakers, because they was iffy on it. Once they made the decision, they might have thought. I don't remember it being a question with the Bucks. Are y'all putting it up or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do want to apologize to everybody in the chat. I think we went down a couple of times, or the stream went black a couple of times, or something like that. But we're back and we should be good. So, do apologize, but we're back. I mean, me, Nick, I think I'm a proponent of hanging the banner. I feel you earned it. I don't think it has to take place of, I don't think you're doing it to make it take place of the championship. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, you know what? We got a banner. We're going to put it on display. However, wherever we put it on display, we're going to put it on display, you know what I mean, and be proud of it. And then, but our goal is still to win a championship. You know what I mean?
Let's go back to the facts. The Milwaukee Bucks raised their first cup banner on December 21st, 2024. So going by this season's game or tournament, they did it basically a week later.
Yeah, okay. Does it have to be a week later?
No, well, it doesn't necessarily say that there was a particular rule per se. I just looked up to see when did the Bucks hang theirs up.
Yeah.
I was going to say that when the Nets were in New Jersey, they had a banner up in the stadium that said that there was a sellout at one time. They had I don't know if you remember that. If you ever went to that stadium at Newark, it said sellout for one sellout that they had in like 1987. So I don't know. Teams hang banners up for weird things, you know.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That is.
That's the perfect attendance award. Like, hey, what'd your kid get on the road? Perfect crazy. Attendance.
Sell out.
All right, fellas, have a good night.
All right, Nick, appreciate it.
Peace.
I don't know, just speaking about Kolek, man. I don't know how it's gonna work, because obviously with his emergence, there's sort of a maybe a little bit of a glut. We're small. you know, I don't, between the two, I don't know where to go with it. Because he obviously deserves to play. If it was Tom Thibodeau, we would know the answer, right? You know, the way Tibbs goes is, all right, you came in, you did what you did, you performed. Thank you. You did your job. You were ready. Now we got these guys back. Exactly.
Be ready next time.
Be ready when we need you next time.
That's right.
Exactly.
Stay ready. You ain't gotta get ready.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. What does Mike Brown do, man?
Well, I know one thing. We about to find out.
Yeah.
My last point with this Kolek Deuce thing is, I don't think you got to choose between the two. Like, it's not even like it's not like it's a world where you like, oh, you can't play them together. You know what I mean? So one doesn't really necessarily affect the other. If anything, they complement each other. You know what I mean? So I will say that about just, you know, choosing between the two. You know what I mean? I don't know if you necessarily have to do that. I'm surprised, and again, I'm not advocating for it. I'm surprised that it hasn't been as much of a conversation on waiting for Shamit and what do we do with him? Because obviously guys are getting opportunity in his absence as well. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Nobody's really, I haven't heard anybody talk about, like, do we move Shamit or do we wait for him?
Well, part of it for me is, you know, Shamit's career journeyman, and he's not like on a contract where you're getting overvalued for the contract. He don't got another year. Deuce is younger. To me, Deuce has more to offer a team, right? So I'm just from the school of, if I want to get something that's going to be a valuable add to my team, I'm probably going to have to give up something that people are going to want. And I just don't see Shamit as the guy that people are going to be wanting.
True.
You know,
True.
he's more of a throw-in. Let's say if you were a couple months ago and we were still trying to do this Giannis deal, he's something that you're throwing with Cat to get something else back or whatever. But you know, it's kind of like when RJ was traded, like IQ was really, it was like, yeah, RJ, yeah, we want RJ, but IQ though, yeah, that's what we really want.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's not that I don't like Deuce. It's actually the exact opposite.
He could be that. He has the value.
He's such a great value. He's such a good player. He has so much to offer. Yo, you have to hopefully get something else, because to me, him, Shamit, and Clarkson are shooting guards, and I don't like the idea of Shamit and Clarkson at small forward. It's like it reduces their value in what they bring. Bring me a bigger wing that can keep McCall and OG on the bench, so they can get a few minutes and they can get a break, and you can get somebody in, like the first caller says, some physicality that got a shot that can help on the boards. You know, that is needed, and Yabusele's is probably not going to be that guy this year.
Yeah. Ain't no probably about it. Probably, come on, ain't no probably about it. He ain't gonna be the dude.
I try to be nice when I can.
He's not gonna be it. You know what I mean?
He's down. I don't want to kick him.
Yeah, he's not gonna be it. Yeah. You know what? I want to listen to Mike Brown, but I do want to ask you though. You think Josh Hart didn't play because of the whole, you know what I mean?
the thumbs up.
The thumbs up.
The
Randall did the thumbs down. Josh Hart hit the thumbs up. Oh.
The making Brunson the butt of the joke.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I'm done.
I'm taking no comment on this one, Sam.
Yo. Oh no, yo. Josh Hart be, I ain't, never mind.
I mean, if that's the reason, hopefully they send him to counseling, or the team therapist.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
Yo, let me see. I don't know, man. The last couple days, he just been saying some funny stuff, man. What's up?
HR meeting.
This was an unofficial bench.
Yeah.
It was an unofficial punishment benching.
Right. Yeah. And then you see he said, what did he say on Twitter? He was like, he said it was AI.
That's what I'd say. He should have said. Did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's his only out right now, because you know what I mean. Like, you can't even believe what you see no more.
Yo. He was bugging.
He better ride with that story.
You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart. It's wild, dude. Anyway, let's listen to Mike Brown a little bit.
Man, what a game, huh?
Hold on for 1 second.
I tell you what, our guys had plenty of opportunities. Just say, you know what? Hey, we gave it the good old college try, and we'll wrap it up and go figure it out tomorrow. Man, what a game, huh? I tell you what, our guys had plenty of opportunities. Just say, you know what? Hey, we gave it the good old college try, and we'll wrap it up and go figure it out tomorrow, especially being in Vegas as long as we were and going through what we went through out there. And man, what a game, huh? I tell you what, our guys had plenty of opportunities. Just say, you know what? Hey, we gave it the good old college try, and we'll wrap it up and go figure it out tomorrow, especially being in Vegas as long as we were and going through what we went through out there, and then having, we had Mitch out, and we had so many guys out. I don't even know. Josh out, Cat out, Deuce out, Landry still out. I'm not sure who else was out, but we had a lot of guys out, and so nobody would have been mad at them on a couple of different occasions if they just threw the towel in. And it's not our group. I said this before. We have a standard, and no matter who's on the floor, we expect everybody to hold each other accountable to what our standard is. And I keep repeating it. You got to sacrifice at the end of the day. You got to be connected at the end of the day. You got to have a freaking competitive spirit. And our group has that. I mean, from top to bottom, everybody likes to compete. And, you try to teach that sometimes, and sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. I haven't had to teach this to this group because they all have a competitive spirit that's unbreakable by each individual and collectively as a group. And then you just got to believe. You got to keep believing no matter what. You believe in the process, whether you're up 20 or you're down 20, and believe in each other. And our guys did that tonight. There were times when guys were coming to the sideline. I think OG had a couple of turnovers in a row. And first thing Jalen says then when he gets to the huddle is keep being aggressive, keep being aggressive, keep being aggressive. And you need, teammates and people like that to keep guys uplifted, especially in tough times. Big thing during the game, they had 14 free throws at halftime attempts. In the second half, they had 4. And on our level of physicality, increased the right way defensively. So I'm very proud of our guys for doing that. We had 31 assists. for the game. And so the guys were trying to find each other. They're a really good defensive team. They get into you. They cause a lot of problems because they get into you, and you just have to get off the ball early. And our guys did. Tyler was fabulous. He was fabulous on both ends of the floor. But you're talking about a guy that I think they played 26 minutes and had 11 assists. So he impacted the game on both ends of the floor. Jordan was great. He hit some timely threes for us. Trey was fantastic. Trey was our defensive player of the game. And some people might say, why not Tyler? Tyler could have easily gotten it. OG could have easily gotten it. There are a couple of guys, even Ariel, but Trey's communication and his physicality in that second half on the defense end of the floor was off the charts. And then OG with the steal at the end of the game. But man, our MVP, the league's MVP, Jalen Brunson, we call a timeout. We took another timeout, drew up a different play, and as Jalen's walking out on the floor, Jalen turns to me. He says, "I'm getting this win. I'm going for it." And I said, "You do you. That's who you are. You do you." And he went out and he came through. That's what real MVPs do, and I'm glad I'm a part of his team.
Coach, what motivated the decision to start Mo, and when did you decide to do it?
Decided to do it, I think, yesterday. As soon as I knew that guys were going to be out, I was going to start him. And Mo's, for a young guy, he's got a really good feel. He's going to be a really good player in this league. He's just so young right now. He just needs minutes. And it's hard because we've had a lot of injuries. I want to send him to the G League, but we just don't have enough bodies up here. And so anytime I can find time for him on the floor, I'm going to try to do it because he has a chance to be really good in this league.
How much did you like those minutes that he played? His defensive impact?
Yeah,
30 seconds of the game?
he played. I played 18 minutes or something like 19 minutes. You talk about a young guy who really hasn't played a ton throughout the course of the season. He was extremely impactful for a young guy. We put him on a lot of different bodies. He had a little tough time with Siakam, which is understandable, but he was able to guard most guys out on the floor. He made great plays, and you could feel his length out there defensively and his ability to get after loose balls and get out in transition. All the little things that we're looking for a lot of guys to do, he does at a high level, and it usually doesn't show up in the stats sheet, but you can see it with your eye.
What was the first play you drew? Was that also Brunson?
It was going to be for him at the end, yeah. It was going to be at the end. And Chris Gent drew both those plays up. So shout out to CJ.
What made you change it?
Chris Gent decided to change that. So you got to ask him. Hell of a job, CJ.
Is Tyler doing anything that's different this last week and a half, or is it just opportunity? I know he's always kind of he came into the league as a guy who can set the table. Obviously, his shot had to grow, defensively had to grow. Are you seeing just a guy doing something with more opportunity, or are you seeing some changes that have helped him have success here lately?
No, he's the opportunity is there for him, and so to see him take advantage of it is huge because only he can do that. And I just, even back when I first got here, I talked amongst our group. I said, "Hey, man, Tyler might have a chance at this thing." And for me, the biggest thing for him was just knowing who he is. He works his tail off on everything, but he was working his tail off on shooting a three. And I just didn't want him to lose sight. He can score. I'm telling you, he can flat out score. I didn't want him to lose sight of that ability because, in my opinion, he could do it at a pretty high level for a young guy. And it's not about the three-point line. If they give you the three, take it because he's good enough and confident enough. Plus, he works at it hard enough to be able to shoot the three. And then on the flip side, I said, "You're a small guy, and I'm not comparing all small white guys with each other when I give TJ McConnell as an example, but I say, hey, look, this dude's been in the league for 30 years, and it's because of his toughness first, especially defensively, all right, and then his ability offensively to understand where his strengths are." And I said, if there's anybody in this league that you need to take a look at, it's him. Because you have a superpower offensively. You can score. You got a second superpower, which is you can pass. Okay? You have some quickness, too, and you got a good feel. But defensively, you got to develop a superpower for your size, and you got good feet. Now it's about using those and being physically tough every single possession, which is what he's been doing.
Any thoughts about what you heard from my first thought is I don't agree with him when he says they could have thrown in the towel and nobody would have cared. I definitely don't agree with that. You know what I mean? And maybe that was more of he didn't actually mean it that way, right? You know, maybe that was just more of that was the words that came out of his mouth, but he didn't really mean like, yeah, if they gave up, nobody would have cared. Because I think he would be
if they
upset.
would have lost under the circumstances, maybe that's what he was trying to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the guys out, coming off the emotional win, whatever. I hear you.
Yeah. But any other thoughts about just his presser?
I didn't hear that part about Kolek, and that's exactly what I was saying to you before we went live about him defensively and not being a liability, and he's been playing tough defensively to the point where teams aren't even targeting him because his defense is starting early. You know what I'm saying? And from me hearing what Mike Brown says, it's literally starting before the game. You know what I mean? Like it's starting with the mindset. And I think that changes things for Kolek. It was great to hear him talk about the superpowers and putting it in a perspective of you know what I mean. You need to we don't expect you to go out there and be a defensive stopper. You know what I mean? But know how to use your attributes and your tools to kind of be effective or not be a liability. So sounds like great coaching, great encouragement, and it sounds like he sees something. He sees something in him.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Shuttle?
I like what he said about Kolek, and I didn't get a chance to get it out earlier, but I saw some clips that were highlighting Kolek's key defensive plays against the Spurs. Plays that if you didn't have a camera watching it, you would have missed it because the camera was not necessarily so focused on him.
One of them was on Wemby, right?
One of them was
running
the
break
right
and getting in front of him, slowing him down.
And he just got right in front of him. He did like a hip check on him, and basically just stopped his momentum enough where it gave the defensive teammate chance to get over, and it slowed his momentum so they couldn't just get it to him running in stride to just get an easy layup. I mean, and this was in the fourth quarter with only a few minutes left in the game. This was a key play. They ended up getting the stop on that. They missed the shot, and they went down and scored. So for me, that's like a 4 or 5 point swing right there. And it's a play that if you're not watching and you don't know the game, you will absolutely miss it. So, defense is more than blocking shots and just stealing the ball. You got to know where to be, how to be there, how to play cohesive team defense. Oh, man. So, listen, is he a defensive stopper? No. Is he Deuce McBride? Absolutely not. Deuce is a way better on-ball defender, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to downplay Deuce's defense. Somebody tried to throw some shots at me earlier. Listen, Deuce does what he do, and Kolek is not Deuce, and he'll probably never ever be Deuce as an on-ball defender. But you can play above the shoulders, and like the coach said, which was the number one thing is like, all right, yeah, you can do this, you can do that, but what's your weakness, and how are you going to turn your weakness into something that is not such a weakness, right? Like, yo, you got to come out here with an attitude, kid. Like, and to your point, I think it was Sim. Like, it starts before you even get on the court with the mentality.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's looking like, yo, I belong out here. Like, like when I was watching him in college. It's like, yo, I'm the guy out here, and he's playing like that right now. Like I belong. You know, I'm not a guy just getting minutes. I'm not, a bench guy. I belong here. So
yeah, he is, no doubt. Well, I got my guy Silk Sutton on the line.
ooh, Silk.
We got Silk on the line. We're gonna see what kind of things Silk comes up with tonight. You know what I
Silk.
mean? I don't know if I should ask Silk.
I'm keeping it correct and clean and correct.
What you
I ain't
talking
going
about? Go
there with
where?
no straight bullets.
What you talking about?
What up, sir?
Well, I'm good, man. What's up with you?
All right. What up, fellas?
Silk, what's shaking?
My man ain't trying to trade my boy Deuce tonight, is he? Is he still trying to trade Deuce?
He's family.
I mean, I'm open to options, fam. I mean, you saw Tyler the Creator out there tonight. You seen it?
Yeah, man. And I see people trying to test him now. San Antonio trying to push him and intimidate him, shove him around. Nimhard trying to push him and shove him around. So let me see how. They don't know he a baby DiVincenzo. Don't try to test Tyler. He got a little attitude. He got a little moxie. You ain't gonna intimidate him. You're trying to push him and shove him around trying to see if they can just back him up. Nah, man, I'm here. I need a job.
He's not scared. He's not scared.
Nah. And the Alvarado talk, I think is done. It's gonna be Yabu for Sadiq Bey and 2 second-round picks. That's what I'm promoting right now.
Yabu.
Yeah, give me instead of Alvarado, keep Tyler. Let's try to get Sadiq Bey here for Yabu. He's shooting like 40% for three right now.
Who?
And he can play a little bit of D. He ain't no great defender, but he can do a little D and three.
Who's shooting?
And Yabu ain't doing no D and three. Everybody beating Yabu off jump.
Who is shooting? Who's shooting that percentage from three right now?
I heard Sadiq Bey like 43% right now.
Oh, okay.
So I know he came off his ACL, but this year they say he's shooting pretty good from three.
44.6%.
He played better D than Yabu.
44.6% from three this season, Sadiq Bey.
Right. So I take Sadiq Bey over Yabu in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. 44.6 from the field, but only 34% from three.
I thought he was 40. All right, my bad. I thought I heard he was in the 40s from three.
Now he's 44% from the field overall and 34%. Even if it was, let's just say Dadier, then that's too much. That's too much for the Pelicans cap. So you got to get it a lot closer. You got to get it a lot closer than that.
I think what's the name from because the only guy I'm seeing right now who ain't playing on a two-way is the guy that used to play for the Nets. So I think he might be thrown in for whatever reason. The coach ain't playing him. I think he got a good skill set. He can shoot the three a little bit. He could get a hold, but it seems like everybody else on the two-way playing, but him.
Wambanambo.
The guy named I can't pronounce. The guy I can't pronounce his name. I ain't gonna try. I ain't gonna bite my tongue till I try to say his name. But the guy that used to play for the Nets last year, that's on the two-way. He ain't playing no minutes with us. Everybody else is, but he ain't playing no minutes. I think they might throw him in.
You could trade two-way guys?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the Ev Bauman?
The guy top of the Y. Yeah, that guy name. Yeah, I ain't gonna try to say his name. I can never say his name.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Had a DNP, while every other two-way and everybody else on the bench played tonight, he the only one that didn't play. And I like him. He got skill. He can shoot a little three a little bit, drive to the hole a little bit. But for whatever reason, Brown ain't playing him. So I can see him with Yabu to make the money work. for Sadiq Bey. But y'all tell me if I'm crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this: the Pelicans traded their first round pick already. So their pick, their first round pick this year already is going to Atlanta, which is likely going to be a top 5 pick. It's a lottery pick, obviously, and probably going to be a top 5 pick. So if I am the Pelicans right now, I'm trying to get a first round pick. Even if that means I got to package Bay and somebody else on the team that could be attractive, I'm going to do that to get a first round pick since I don't have one. A second round pick is probably not going to get them too excited.
But let me ask you this question. The Washington pick we got, even if we don't get it as a first, they so bad in the record, we probably won't get their second round pick. So that's like a late first round pick. That's why Minnesota won it. And that's why a lot of teams want the Washington pick right now, because Washington's so bad, it's going to be the second round pick of that round. So that's going to be like a late first round pick. So that might be something that they may want.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
So I know we're giving up 2 second rounders, but one of them going to be in this deep draft like a late first rounder, because how bad Washington is. I don't see big. I would like to hold that pick for somebody who like Dante or somebody who's a little better than Sadiq Bey, but we can't get nobody better than that. I would do that. So we keep our other second round pick and we just give up that Washington pick.
I mean, but if you're giving up trash, what you expecting to get back?
But Sadiq Bey, I don't think Sadiq Bey is trash though. He's not a superstar also, but I don't think he's trash.
Who?
He's a good bench player.
I don't think Shutter was saying that Sadiq Bey is trash.
No.
What he's saying is you got to give up more than that to get. If you want to get a player of caliber, you got to give up more than what you're saying to give up.
You saying give up Yabusele, like you giving delusional trades. Like you want to give up Yabusele, but you want to get some value.
But I'm giving them 2 picks though. But I'm getting Yabu off our team, but I'm giving you 2 picks. One's a late round second, a late round first, and another second. I'm giving you 2 picks for Yabu. I'm giving you 2 picks to get him off our team.
Maybe.
And they ain't got no picks.
Right.
Okay.
Well, they don't have a first round pick.
But Washington pick is like a late first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the first pick of the second round. So it's like a late first rounder. So it's like a first round pick. It ain't no top 10, but it's like a late first rounder. It's better than, and they trying to trade all them other guys off the team, so they gonna get other first rounders. But we giving you somebody for Sadiq Bey who ain't no all-star, and we giving you a late first round pick. Because Washington's so bad, that's gonna be the first pick of the second round. I'm just saying. I think we could do that with the Washington pick. Yabu and the Washington pick for Sadiq Bey. Because that's why ain't Minnesota is coming to us about Dante, because they want the Washington Wizards pick. They trying to get that pick from us, and they trying to throw all kind of trade package suggestions to the Knicks to get that pick. So it must be valuable. If Minnesota's coming to us for Dante with that pick.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But on the other note, brothers, Kolek, TKO ain't going nowhere.
TKO. Okay, I like that one. I like that one too. TKO.
TKO ain't going
Tyler
nowhere.
Kolek. TKO. I like that.
He's playing defense. He's playing defense. People trying to intimidate him, and he pushing back on them. He ain't being no punk. I'm like, go ahead, boy.
Okay.
Do that mini Dante DiVincenzo on me. Yeah, I like that.
That one's better than BBL.
I ain't going in no more, son. I said I ain't saying that three-letter word for that man no more.
No,
He off the team.
I'm just telling you, TKO is better than BBL. That's all I'm saying. TKO is better than BBL.
Hey, yo. It's crazy.
I don't remember me ever saying that. I'm leaving that alone. I don't even mention that no more.
Bring up that tape. No, I'm just playing.
But my man's Hart got to act right, yo. They got him with the thumbs up meme now, and they messing with Cat because of what Hart did to. Nah, man, you can't be. My man Hart got to act right. Somebody got to talk to him. Daddy Brunson got to talk to Hart.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that kind of craziness on live
Listen,
TV.
you can't even be saying Daddy Brunson, bro. You got you got to call that man
Daddy
Rick.
Brunson, yo, you do that to my son on live TV? Daddy Brunson got to talk to Hart. So now they got memes out there messing with Cat, and Cat ain't got nothing to do with this.
Yo, wow. Wow, this is what happens. This is what happens in the late night.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, yo, that bothers me. I'm like, yo, they got all these stuff with Cat now. Cat ain't got nothing to do with this. What y'all messing with Cat for? Because something Hart did to Brunson. I know this is Villanova College stuff. Come on, man. Everybody talking about that, and they're not even talking about us winning the cup. They talking about that. That took away the whole thing about us winning the cup. Even though the cup thing was all right to me, but that all the haters are running with that now.
I mean, he did it though.
Huh?
He did it though. Like, what we gonna do?
Well, somebody got to talk to her. Yo, do that in the locker room, son. Don't be doing that on live TV.
Don't. What do you mean do it in the locker room? Don't do.
Well, you know they college. Yo, I saw a podcast where they talk about how
just tell them don't
had
do
some
it,
crazy
bro.
stuff with him in college, and other teams, other guys do crazy stuff when they win chips or championships. They do crazy stuff, but don't be doing that on live TV.
Don't do it at all. Just don't do it.
But there's guys that do it, Sam. You can't say don't do it. They get excited. They win a chip or a championship or whatever, and they do dumb college stuff.
But
I went to college, man.
Dumb college stuff is one thing.
I'm wearing it proudly right now. And I'm going to tell you something. We didn't do this over there. Okay? I was living in the dorm. We didn't do nothing like that. Not at all.
I hear you, brother. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I don't know who you with right now. But there's
sororities, yo, come on. There's sororities that do dumb sorority stuff to people. You go to sleep in a sorority, you better be careful. You might wake up with whatever stuff on your face. Toothpaste, powder, whatever.
But
people that do dumb sorority stuff with sororities.
But that's not sticking your thumb where the sun don't shine.
I got you. I got you. So somebody got to talk to Hart. Yo, nah, this is our star. You don't do that to our star.
Crazy, yo.
But I want to hit you up real quick, fellas. DJ Shuttle, leave my man Deuce alone. I'll be trying to get rid of him. Leave my brother alone. Sam?
Keep Deuce.
I'm
with you.
Running with
I
the
want to keep
squad
Deuce.
tonight, and we pull out a win with Captain Clutch. I'll take that.
Yeah, no doubt. I ain't even gonna front in the beginning. When he pulled back the three, I was like, "Oh, we didn't have to take the three, did we?" But when it went in, I was,
Yo, Sim, I had the coach. He used to be like, "No, yes,
right."
Yes.
That's exactly what I was like. I was like, "Yo, you had to shoot the three, yeah."
You know, Sim. You know what it was? He was tired. He said, "I ain't going into no damn overtime.
Word.
I just came over from Vegas, fly to Indiana." We ain't doing no overtime.
Yeah.
If we lose, we lose.
That's the truth.
I'm putting this up.
That's the truth.
I'm tired. He looked tired. They all look tired, man.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I like the cup, but this crazy. Yo, you give us 3 days off after we doing this. You don't have us coming back and doing the back-to-back, and we ain't got no 2 days off until January 11th?
I mean, but they couldn't predict that the Knicks was going to be in the cup. So they just
But still,
did the schedule.
The schedule they gave us was we don't have no 2 days off till January 11th. We doing either double. Well, I can't even say double back to back, or 1 day off and we playing again till January 11th. That is crazy for winning the cup. So you penalizing us for winning the cup.
I mean, it is a crazy schedule.
You give us a crazy schedule for winning the cup.
It's definitely a crazy schedule, but I mean, they didn't know they was gonna win the cup.
Man,
you know what I mean?
But even a loser, I heard because I heard Knicks Fan School had the female who does the Indiana Pacers podcast, and she said the Pacers last year when they lost the cup, after they came back home, they lost like 5 games in a row because they had to get used to the schedule that the NBA gave them before they got their rhythm back together. So they went like on a 5-game losing streak because of the schedule when they came back. It was crazy.
Okay.
NBA got to do something about this. If you want us to do this tournament, then give us some time to get reacclimated to the league. I know we got a week off. We're going to play 2 games per week. But you can't be shoving us with 6 games in 5 nights or whatever. You can't be this, because you messing with the team that contributed in this cup thing. Now you making it hard when after they win or lose. Now they got to go a whole 3 weeks with a crazy ass schedule.
I mean, what they gonna do though? If they make the schedule beforehand,
but they don't know. It seems like they throwing the schedule after they know who's in the cup, who's in the finals. They throwing the schedule together when they get win or lose. This is what you doing.
Nah, I mean it could be like
if the Knicks wouldn't have been in the cup final, they wouldn't have had this schedule.
It could be like with the NBA playoffs that after the last game of the season, every team is gonna no game is gonna start until every team has at least 2-3 days off. They could have created the schedule to have no teams playing until 2 days after, and then no back-to-backs right away. I get it. So you said a lot of crazy things tonight, but that's probably the one thing you said I could get with.
Okay, DJ. What else I said is crazy, man. I thought I was being kind of correct tonight. What else? Except for the double. I always slip with the double. That's the
you ain't called Rick.
But other than that, what else I said crazy?
Rick Brunson.
Mr. Brunson.
Yeah, he should have said something
Mr. Brunson. Rick
about
Brunson.
somebody doing that to his son. If that's my son, I'm gonna say something.
Facts.
You see how Brunson turned
that
around?
to my son, and I'm a coach of the team. I'm gonna say something.
You know what? That's not the first time he did it. You see how Brunson turned around? Like, yo, I told you stop doing that shit.
Too much.
Ain't the first time, yo.
Too much. Too much.
I hate you, my brothers.
All right, so.
But I'm gonna let this one go. I know I shouldn't have brought it up, but it just bothers me because they try to mess with Cat off it. Like, what Cat do? Why y'all bringing videos and memes with Cat? Leave Cat alone.
I don't know. Yeah.
But it's a good one, man. We got this one now. Mitch got to get his revenge tomorrow on Embiid if he play. If he don't punk up and not show up, but we won't see.
Yeah, we'll see. Who they play? Philadelphia tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why Mitch ain't play tonight, because that's Mitch's revenge tomorrow. See if Embiid show up.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother.
All right, man. All right,
yeah, they said Silk on that E and J. He on that Easy Jeezy. He on the Easy Jeezy. He on the Easy Jeezy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I got free cabbies.
Dude, that in the locker room was crazy. Yo, so.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, so I'm new to the Silk antics. I'm new to the antics and the shenanigans. So I caught a little on the last call on the last show. Now I'm fully up to speed. Now I'm prepared.
Oh man.
Shit. But yo, listen, a little laughter is always great.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. Yo, so crazy.
But so you gotta relax.
My man Sean says, Sim, you still think Knicks don't play with an edge? You jumped out the window 2 games in. I don't think I jumped out the window. I was saying how I want them to play. And that if they don't play that way, then that's something that I felt was missing. I didn't say they wouldn't play that way. I just said, and that wasn't 2 games in. It was more than 2 games in, but I was like, I didn't like what I saw, right? Because they had got punked a couple games. They got punked by Miami. They got punked by Milwaukee. There was somebody else that punked them. And so I was like, yo, they got to play with an edge. If they want to win it, they're going to have to be able to play with an edge. And they started to develop that edge. As a matter of fact, the team itself talked about that they got to play more aggressive and with more physicality. You know what I mean? I wasn't, and because they talked about it, they knew it, and they've started to play with more physicality. I felt in the beginning of the season they was playing a little soft.
I saw that. I saw that as well, Sim. And I mentioned it and was saying, like, the Knicks are kind of like low-key a finesse team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no Dylan Brooks. You know what I mean? There's no Kurt Thomas.
Right.
Like, there's no player like that. Or Draymond Green. Like there's nobody like that. So, you letting teams just score on you. You're not hitting nobody. You're not knocking nobody down within the rules. And, an edge is not only just winning the game. An edge is like putting your stamp on people with how you play the game. Like, you got to hit them when they come down the paint. You got to push them. You got to do a little full court press. Give up a foul or 2 here and there just so they know they just can't just walk through and just, dance through the lane and all that.
Exactly.
So that's an edge.
Yep.
And you could win the game. You could lose the game and still play with more edge.
Mm-hmm.
A la Detroit Pistons, a la Orlando Magic, teams that anytime the Knicks play them appear to have more edge than the Knicks do.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And these are teams that no matter how good the Knicks are looking, come playoff time when, people get a little nervous, the shot gets a little short, the refs hold the whistle a little bit more physicality is allowed. You got to be used to that. You got to be prepared for that. And that's something with the old coach that, he kind of pressed a little bit more on physicality and less on just ball movement and not focusing on getting up on people like that. So, that all remains to be seen.
You know who's playing with an edge right now? Tyler Kolek.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. It's a big fact.
You know who might have a little bit edge to his game? Jameson. You know what I mean? I think he got that. He got a little bit of that to his game. But
it's like a grown ass man out there.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like the grown man in the hood. Like, yo, don't say nothing to him. Don't play with him.
He got like military strength, right? You know when your boy come back and he a Marine, like you ain't seen him like.
Oh, he did a couple of joints.
Or that.
Yeah.
I was trying to be positive. You know what I mean?
Nah, the real one. He did a couple of joints. He came home. Yo, you know who he remind me of is big man, the black belt, Johnson. That's who. When I see him, he's like 20 years ago. This is what he looked like.
He built like a G.I. Joe.
Nah, like G.I. Don't do it with me.
Word.
Yeah. So listen. Who knows? Maybe Huck Porty's in the deal, and they like this guy.
Jameson, you talking about?
Yeah.
I like Jameson. I think he's steady. You know what I mean? He doesn't try to do too much. You know, maybe they would say Huck Porty has more upside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know that guy, he hoops without, you know, making mistakes. Trying to, you know, he just plays his game and plays within what he can do. You know what I mean?
He reminds me of an old school, back of the bench vet. You know what I mean? Like I know he's young and still got room for growth, but he reminds me of one of those guys that was on the back end of the team. You know what I mean? Solid, steady. You know what I mean? Almost like Taj Gibson, but even a further throwback than Taj.
More like a Herb Williams year 14.
Those guys, you know what I mean? PJ, what was his name? PJ Washington? Nah, what's his name? The old school
PJ
dude.
Brown.
PJ Brown. You know what I mean? Like old school throwback vet.
Yeah.
I gotta watch some more tape on this guy.
Yeah. Nah, he's good. You know what I'm saying? He's just like steady. One of them guys. Remember, what was the dude we talked about, Tony, that I told you he reminded me of? Damn. That center that the Knicks would have, and then let him go, and then bring him back, let him go.
Bring him back.
This man, he was just a serviceable center.
I forgot his name now.
Got his name again. Earl or something like that.
Not the basement dude.
I think his name, it was Earl.
Pretty positive. Yeah. It was Earl. Yeah, it was Earl. What? I know. I forgot his name.
Yeah, but he was just a real serviceable big man. He could never stick anywhere, but whenever he came in, he produced. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I always wonder about guys like that. Like every time they get a chance, they produce, but they can't stick with a team. You know, they get bounced around the league or whatever. Can't think of his name right now. So I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. But that's what he reminds me of. They did. Someone in the chat said it last time. Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna roll out tonight. A lot of technical difficulties.
Barron, there you go. Three times.
Earl Barron. Yeah, that dude. You remember him, Shuttle? Earl Barron?
Nah. He was on the Knicks?
Yeah. Yeah, a few times.
Couple times.
Yeah, a few times. He was with
playing?
the Knicks. Yeah. I mean, he had some moments where he started. He started some games for the Knicks.
Was this the Fizdale Knicks? Like, what Knicks are we talking about here?
Let me see.
Earl Barron, yep.
Let me see. Barron.
Chat always come through, bro.
Earl Barron. Let's see.
Let me see. Earl Barron.
44 years old.
And
so he's been gone for a while.
2009, 2010. He appeared in 7 games and started 6.
2010.
And 12-13. Well, he only appeared in 1 regular season game, did not start that game. He had 11 points and 18 rebounds in 37 minutes. I thought he spent more time with the Knicks than that, for real.
Nah, he got 7 games in 1 year, and a couple years later came back and got 1 game.
Bro, I thought he played more than that for some reason. I don't know why. It seemed like I always, for a while, it seemed like I always
say 11 and 18? That probably stood out. That probably was jaw dropping. Like, yo, we might could use this dude. Remember, these was the dog days, Sim. We was grasping for some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, yeah, 2009, 2000. Damn, for some reason I thought he played a significant amount of games with the Knicks for some reason. I guess not. He only played like 8 games.
Hey, Marcus,
I feel better. I was throwing for a second. I was like, man, you don't even know this guy. They blowing you up right now. You don't know this guy. You play 8 minutes. Then you play 8 games. All right. So I'm like, all right, 8 games in 2 years. I don't feel.
I think it's time. I think it's time to get off tonight. Marcus Miller said, "Are we playing? Are we doing the lovers' lounge tonight? What's going on?"
Yo, Marcus, you gotta hit up Silk, and y'all gotta figure it out. It's easy for both of y'all.
Word. What's going on? Sheesh.
Nah, we doing losers lounge tomorrow.
He said losers lounge. He got
on Saturday, right?
Saturday. Yeah, after the Philly game.
I'm trying to clean it up.
Oh man. Look, you said losers in all caps.
Yeah. See what Silk do? Silk just put a whole different twist to the whole show.
Word.
As a matter of fact, I can't even call him Silk. I'm calling him Sutton.
Hey, my bad, Marcus. I see you cleaned it up quick too, but
too little, too late.
My bad,
man.
Man. Pause.
All right, well, let me get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1:18. Got to get up and go to work tomorrow. Got some business to handle, but definitely be on tomorrow night. Saturday, yeah, we ready to go. You know what I mean? We were supposed to do that Nas and Primo review tonight. I didn't realize the Knicks played tonight, so we're gonna have to put it to the weekend. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get it in though.
And then
go ahead, Tom.
Nah, I just want to give a disclaimer. If I make the show tomorrow, I might be a little saucy. You know what I mean? I might have a couple shots before I jump on. So,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, just a disclaimer.
Yo, hold on, Sim. I did a show with your boy when he was a little saucy. It's different. It's definitely different. It was definitely different.
Shoot.
Crazy.
No doubt.
No
doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your week. Tomorrow's Friday, or today's Friday. We're definitely gonna do that review on the stoop this weekend. But we'll see you tomorrow. Knicks play tomorrow, 6:30 versus Philadelphia. And we'll be there. Well, we won't be at the game. We'll be here on the show. Anyway, we out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.